year's state place winners, being led out by the safety and event personnel here as they are the grand marshals of this year's state tournament. Always gives you goosebumps. Zach, I'll start with you as you were a part of this grand march for 4 years. And, of course, let's talk about your last 2 years getting ready to wrestle on Saturday night in the state finals. What was going through your mind as you were getting ready to wrestle in the championship?
You know, being in the middle of the pack at 130 and being at 140 my final years, basically you have some downtime too. So here you got to soak in the moment. You got to look up, see all these fans that are out here tonight watching. It's a special moment. So don't take anything away from all these place winners here that have been here, worked hard just as hard as you have. But also you got to remember that you have a match to come up. It's not over yet. You got one more match to go, and you got to get ready to go. So it depends how that is. Is it going to be mental? Is it going to be warming up? The hardest part is having that wait time, but some of these 106-pounders got to come out here and get ready right away. You know, the heavyweights got some time here, and it's all televised, so it takes a lot longer than what you're used to. So it's just a whole different aspect of things, but the best thing about this whole thing is look at all these people on their feet, paying attention. Appreciate every one of these wrestlers that have been out on the mat the entire weekend. Not only these guys, but everybody that made this thing special. The cheerleaders, from the coaches to the wrestlers to the grand marshal and all those guys. So it's just a well-done atmosphere right here.
And we will have Mariah Seeley from West Delaware High School singing our national anthem. So we will have that for you, as we will have Mariah Seeley from West Delaware. We're going to bring you that national anthem live right now, as we will have it. Mariah Seeley will play it here on KMCH, and then we'll talk a little bit more about our what we've got coming up the rest of the night here for our coverage before we send it back to Ashley at the station. So we're going to have Mariah Seeley. We'll get to our PA announcer here, as we'll have our PA announcer as they're bringing in the color guard, bringing in the flag here, as we'll have Mariah Seeley from West Delaware singing our national anthem.
As we stand to honor our country, we ask you to remember the past and present men and women in uniform and the first responders around the world whose sacrifices, sometimes supreme, have helped to preserve the blessings of liberty we enjoy in our great nation. Please remain standing until the colors are retired. To honor America, our national anthem will be sung by senior Mariah Seeley from West Delaware High School. She's a 4-year member of the Iowa All-State Chorus, as well as a soloist with the 2015 chorus. Mariah has received numerous superior ratings at state solo and small ensemble festivals, including Best of Center. She is involved in show choir, musical, dance, speech, 3-year state national anthem soloist, International Thespian Festival, and several other activities. Her future plans include attending a 4-year college with the goal of becoming a Broadway performer. Her high school director is Dwayne Milgren. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
Oh, can you see by the dawn's early light what so brightly began at the twilight that we who struck straight and bright shone through the perilous fight for the Oh, say not that thy famous for the night
Very good, Mariah Seeley. She stole the show. She was supposed to be on last night, Roger, but she got the grand poobah of the national anthems here tonight as singing in the state finals. And what a performance by Mariah Seeley.
Well, Jamie, we always say that if you get picked to sing the national anthem on Saturday at the state wrestling tournament, you are the all-star of all-stars. And I'm telling you what, she brought the house down. I got goosebumps on my arms, the back of my neck. And I'll tell you what, that was an outstanding job. She should be proud. I know she is. Her parents should be proud. Her school is proud. Manchester is proud. And, Jamie, that was a tremendous, tremendous version of our national anthem. And great job, Mariah Seeley. And we are ready to wrestle here, Jamie Vasquez.
Absolutely, and I can't wait. Roger, I was going to get to you as we got to our national anthem, but you've been a part of this a heck of a lot longer than I have, but not just from the broadcasting standpoint of it, but as well as the coaching and just being a fan of wrestling. And it doesn't get any better than the state finals.
Well, it does not. And you're down here on Saturday, and when we used to be over at Vets next door to be a coach in a corner on a Saturday night, that's just a very special time, special opportunity, and I got to be a part of that. And as Zach was saying, the hardest part is the downtime. You know, when you've got kids that are in the middle to the upper weights, and you've got to wait, and you've got to make sure that you warm up at the right time. You don't want to warm up too early and then sit around and get rubber legs and get tired. And if you warm up too late, then the kids aren't properly prepared. And it's you're right, Zach. It is a combination. There's a fine line of getting your kids ready mentally and getting your kids ready physically. But we always told the kids, hey, get out and do what you've done the whole year to get yourself in this position. Relax. The other thing is have fun because these opportunities where you wrestle on Saturday night don't come too often, and you can't take them for granted because you never know when you'll get that opportunity. So a great time here, a great opportunity. We got a full house. We're going to see some great matches tonight, Jamie, and this is just a special time to be here.
Well, you talked about doing what you've done all season. Zach and I saw one of the wrestlers wrestling tonight drinking a Monster Energy drink before getting things going. So Zach says, how could you drink that before the meet? And I said, well, you know what? He's probably done it all year long. So he's going to do it here again tonight.
You know, on another part on that thing for you, both of you guys, the thing is you can sit there and talk about all you want is it's next match. Talk about next match. But the thing is when you walk into an arena like this, it's not your next match. This is the biggest stage that you're probably going to wrestle at if you don't continue your career in front of these fans. So as much as you look at it, as easy as you can say, hey, it's just another match, but the lights are on you. There's only 3 mats out there. The eyes are on you. And so there's a whole other aspect of this whole thing, and that's the hard part is your heart's going to be pumping. You're going to be, you got to take that deep breath and really figure out how to control that also because it is a whole different aspect of what you've been doing the entire year.
Yeah, you've got 16,000 fans looking at you, and then it's viewed statewide, so you've got a tremendous audience, and and that's the energy you got to channel, and you got to focus that energy toward the opponent. And again, like we said, you get out and you wrestle, you do your best, and you take advantage of the situation, and you have fun doing it. So it's a great night. We got a great crowd, and Jamie, we started with 32 wrestlers. We had 17 medalists that we watched, and we've got 2 finalists. So our Northeast Iowa guys put forth some great efforts here during the course of these 3 days, and we've got a couple guys that put forth an extra special effort and made it to Saturday night. And for Luke Hageman, it's got to be a very special time, Jamie. It's his first time at the state meet. You know, he had high expectations for 3 years and came up short. And finally, his senior year, he's put everything together, and he's earned this opportunity to wrestle on Saturday night, and we're looking forward to his match.
Yeah, we certainly are. And, Roger, one of the notes that I wanted to make here is I told you before we started this tournament that I had gone through, and I had mentioned to you when before this meet started here that I went through West Delaware's tournament, and since we followed the Hawks throughout the year, I went through and figured out how many state qualifiers each of the Hawks tournaments ended up with. Well, I have now gone through and did a little more research. So let's talk about the Bob Murphy Invitational. Bob Murphy Invitational had 21 state qualifiers. Out of those 21, there were 10 state place winners and 2 state finalists here tonight. As wrestling in the finals is Matt Robertson from Davenport Assumption and Chase Ahrens from Dike New Hartford. The South Winneshiek Invitational, 34 state qualifiers, 19 state place winners, and 2 state finalists, one being Jordan Baumler from North Fayette Valley, the other Michael Blockus of New Hampton. Benton Community Tournament, 52 state qualifiers coming in. Out of those 52, there were 24 state place winners, and 24 place winners, 6 state finalists here tonight, as they include Daniel Kimball of Don Bosco and Matthew Lewis of Centerville. They wrestled in the finals at the Benton Community Tournament. They're wrestling in the championship tonight in different classes, as Lewis in Class 2A, Kimball in Class 1A. Also wrestling in the finals, again, Matt Robertson of Davenport Assumption, also Gable Fox of Don Bosco, and Julian Broderson of Davenport Assumption, and Bryce Esmoil of West Liberty. The Cedar Rapids Jefferson Invitational, 45 state qualifiers, 26 state place winners, and 10 state finalists from that Jefferson Invitational. The finalists include Drake Ayala of Fort Dodge, Jameis Wilson of Alburnett, Brody Teskey of Fort Dodge. He's looking to become a 4-time state champion tonight, as is Alex Thompson of Underwood. Drew Bennett of Fort Dodge in the finals. Mason Holsey of Boone is in the finals. He was in the Jefferson Invitational. And then another kind of a note here. The rematch of 152 pounds at the Jefferson Invitational is also the rematch of the state finals at 152 pounds. Cade Lara and Harlan Steffensmeyer wrestling for the title at 152 in Class 3A. Also, Reese Bolin of Indianola. Here's an interesting fact, Roger. He placed 5th at the Cedar Rapids Jefferson Invitational. He's wrestling in the state finals tonight. And then, of course, Tanner Sloan of Alburnett. Louisa Muscatine, there were 27 state qualifiers, 5 state place winners, and 2 finalists. The 2 finalists are Esmoil again of West Liberty and Ben Saracen of Cedar Rapids Kennedy. The WAMAC Conference Tournament, where a lot of our area schools are out of, 46 state qualifiers, 23 state place winners, and 3 finalists. And those finalists tonight include Brady Fritz of South Tama, Isaac Judge of South Tama, and Luke Hageman of Beckman. The sectional that West Delaware was in had 16 state place winners, 16 state qualifiers, 8 place winners, and 2 finalists, as those finalists include Jordan Baumler of North Fayette Valley and Ryan Steffen of Crestwood. And the district that West Delaware and Independence were in had 14 state qualifiers, 13 of those state place winners, and 2 state finalists, as Jordan Baumler and Ryan Steffen are the state finalists. So that just goes to show the type of schedule that West Delaware wrestles throughout the year. And then, of course, that WAMAC conference also outstanding in how the amount of competition in the WAMAC conference. So tonight we will keep an eye. I believe we're keeping an eye on 5 wrestlers. We'll only cover 2 matches live, and that will be Brady Henderson. That'll be Brady Henderson at 132 pounds. Now I can't see. They have killed the lights here in the Wells Fargo Arena. I think they want people. I'm guessing this is a flashlight show here, where they want people to get their phones out. And
they're going to put the spotlight on each match, and each mat as they introduce the wrestlers.
Yeah, maybe either that or they're getting it's a cell phone deal here tonight. But in Class 1A, Brady Henderson of Northland wrestling at 132 pounds. He will be taking on Donnie Schmidt from Wapsie Valley in the finals. And then, of course, in Class 2A, it'll be Luke Hageman of Beckman wrestling in the finals against Josh Ramirez of Dubuque Wahlert. And Roger, this is the third straight Saturday that Hageman and Ramirez will have wrestled each other.
What a treat we're seeing right here, guys. We got to stop for just a minute, Jamie. They got the lights off in the house. They got Coach Dan Gable on Big Red right in the middle of the house here. And he's got the microphone, and he's bringing this house to a slather here.
Let's just tune in to Coach Gable here as he's going to bring the house down.
On the video, and when it reaches 0, we go live to the world. Let's show everyone what Iowa High School Wrestling is all about. Are you ready to make the noise? Here we go. Don't get lost.
It's going to get loud. Yes, nobody could get a crowd in Iowa excited quite like Dan Gable. Absolutely, as he said, it's our time to perform, and I tell you what could get you more excited in the state of Iowa in wrestling than Dan Gable?
I'll tell you what, I got goosebumps all over from head to tail, toe to head there, Jamie, head to toe, toe to head. Yo, whichever, the stumbles.
We're going to take a break, and of course we'll come back at 132 pounds with Brady Henderson of Northland. We will also keep an eye on tonight Jameis Wilson of Alburnett. He'll be wrestling in the 106-pound final, and of course Tanner Sloan of Alburnett wrestling in the 195-pound final. Also, we'll keep an eye on Cale Happel of Lisbon. So we'll take a break. We'll be back with Brady Henderson. We'll probably cut into basketball coverage for Brady Henderson, but we will bring you those matches live as they happen. So stay with us. You're listening to the State Wrestling Tournament from KMCH Sports.
For all your general contracting needs, turn to the professionals at Lucky Building Service in Manchester. For commercial, remodeling, and building and new home construction, call the experts, Lucky Building Service in Manchester, 563-927-5677.